Hey everybody, welcome to another Minute Where Proof is Possible. I'm Corbett Lunsford. Today I just want to kind of talk to you about why, if you're not in the building industry, you should be working with people who are performance-based in the building industry. And if you are in the building industry, then you should be one of the performance-based pros. Performance-based means that you test things. That's all it means. You don't need to have some special approach or some special certification or degree or be an engineer. All you need to do is check by testing what you do. For example, if you're an HVAC professional, you should be testing the airflows and the pressures of the systems that you work on. If you're an insulation professional, you should be taking infrared pictures of before and after you install insulation. If you do air sealing, which is the most important thing that anyone should do as part of a home improvement project, then you should be testing your air sealing with a blower door test before and after. First thing that enters your mind before you start testing is doubt. Am I good at my job? Do I do a good job? Is it possible that I screwed that up yesterday? If you think those things, testing is perfect for you. Doubting yourself is the mark of someone who is really paying attention to what they're doing. If you don't do this already, you need to start doing it. I do this all the time. Once you have that doubt and you have the humility to be able to approach what you are doing with, well, maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. Let's find out. You have the test tools that will give you the answer to your question. All you have to do is know what the question is. That's why I wrote the book. The book is the end of all excuses of contractors saying, I don't know how to test and prove whether I do a good job. That's why I wrote the book. The book is out there. You shouldn't be working with anybody who's not testing their stuff. Now, once you have the doubt and the humility and then the verification, and you can find out that, wow, I was right after all. A lot of things that you thought this couldn't possibly be the case are actually happening in the building industry, in the house where you're living, in the building where you're working. As an example, I would like to tell you about a multifamily building development that I'm working on. It's a series of like 12 different buildings, and there's 6 apartments in each one, and we're going up and down and testing everything, making sure it's done right. At this point in my work with this client, which is a first-time client for me, they have finally realized that I'm actually finding out important stuff. This is stuff that's going to lower their callbacks, make sure they don't have warranty claims, God forbid any lawsuits. It's risk management. That's what performance testing is all about, is risk control. So we're walking around this building and I'm testing things. I have with me the HVAC installer and his assistant and the building superintendent. And the building superintendent has a drywall knife in his hand. And that is because we have found out that there are some issues in the buildings. I will test a bedroom with the door closed with the air handler on. That means that the furnace is pushing on that room and air is not able to get out in some cases. So what I will do is turn to the building superintendent and say, we need a hole here. And he just whipped out his knife and he starts cutting a hole. It was so exciting. I loved it. Also, went into the bathrooms in this stack and found out that these bath fans are not pushing the amount of air that they should. So I say, maybe we should check the roof vent, because of course the installer says, well, I don't know what it could possibly be. So my job is to now come up with, well, what are the potentials? So we go up on the roof, we check the vent, nothing is blocking it, no bird has died and fall down inside of it. So the next thing in line is, well, there's a little piece of tape that comes in your bath fan when you get it in the box. You take it out and you're supposed to take that little piece of tape off before you install it. Now the downside that you don't realize, if you haven't thought about this, is that when they put these things in, the building doesn't have electricity. So nobody is there to turn it on and see if it actually works and doesn't make a really loud noise. All of those things are obviously meaning that there's some blockage going on. It's not working the way that it's supposed to. So I say, did you pull the tape off? And the response, as you would expect, as you would also respond, is, what do you think I am, an idiot? And I don't think you're an idiot ever. All of my job as a building forensics expert is finding things that are oops moments. There is no sinister bad guy out there screwing up home performance all around the country and making people uncomfortable and making ice dams form and making buildings wet and moldy. It's literally just dumb mistakes. It is a series of dumb mistakes. So I say, well, you know what? It's the next thing in line. Aside from this, we're going to have to replace this fan. So why don't you just check and see if the tape was pulled off? Gets a ladder, gets up in there, opens it up. Oops. This is the kind of thing that I deal with all day long, and that's why you should be doubting yourself, because even the smartest contractors that I work with, even the smartest architects and the best engineers all make mistakes sometimes, and that's why it's important to just double check yourself. And this is the thing that people will realize we are not doing in the building industry. That is why performance testing is important. That's why if you are a homeowner or a home buyer or a building owner, you need to make sure that you're working with people who are actually testing things, and you need to get that test data and interpreted for you in a way that you can understand, because having somebody just spew a bunch of technical data at you is not useful. People know how to do this. They are out there. I hope that you find them. I would be happy to help you. Thanks very much for watching. Tune in next time.